YouTube you, but welcome back to the Plot Coalition YouTube channel, where today we are going to be doing some animation on stream. So if this is your first time here, every week we try to do anyways, some sort of creative stream to actively be working on the project, but also kind of show progress updates. Now, I do have to be a lot more careful about what goes on stream at this point, because it also gets into the territory where there might be spoilers, but we won't be showing any of those on stream. Or at least I'm going to do my best to not show any. So it's all about having a good time and just, you know, showing those things off. All right, I think I should turn that down. Sorry if my audio is doubled up. No, this is not pre-recorded. I just read your comment. It's live. And Unknown Waff is here. Unknown Waff. He has been around the channel for a hot minute. Best known for Warship Collage, commenting on that on several Titanfall specific videos, and for playing the entirety of the Titanfall 2 campaign before I finished a stream. So, some pretty cool stuff. What's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Alright, so we are going to jump into this now. I do have to take a moment a moment of silence for everyone who was lost at Angel's Venture. Unfortunately, bad things are happening, and it's not looking good. I made a post earlier because who knows what this is going to do, but canonically now my film takes place yesterday if this becomes a real problem. But so alright, moving on in true Helldiver fashion. Let's see here. I saw your teaser. It looked very democratic. Hey, thank you, Lure. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the teaser. We are going to be working on the actual film. The teaser had a lot of elements from the actual film, which is part of the reason we released it the way that we did. And now we're getting into, that other fun stuff. I did forget. Also, if you're new here, we've got Fish Cam. I have to actually set it up real quick. Thankfully, it's a pretty short process. Now Fish Cam doesn't want to pop up. Well, hold up. Let me switch to my other screen. I need to clean up my OBS. There we go. There's Fish Cam. I'll feed the fish so you can see him. Feed the fish and turn on his light. There we go. So he'll swim by every once in a while, hang out. He is my Super Earth approved pet. Don't mind the weird things you see on the screen right now. This is it's all part of the plan. It's part of getting these models put together and whatnot. Have the extreme privilege of working with this model pack that Cover Up from the Helldivers archive put together, which saves oodles of time because he's already ported everything into Unreal Engine, which is so nice. Yep, that is the skeleton I want. Okay. Alright. I shouldn't have imported textures. That's my bee. That's my bee-boo. Alright, so I got those, and then I need to bring in these up-res textures, because the textures that are on the Super Earth markers are super low res because they don't need to be anything big for the game, but then, since we're using them for cinematics, I need to up-res them. So they were originally like this, and you can just see they're kind of crunchy quality. So I just went ahead and used Topaz to upscale them to 4K. So that is super helpful. All right, so we have this guy. This will also be just a little terrifying. The way he do be looking. but we are going to fix that. I'm actually, real quick, before we go too much further, I'm going to force delete them. I'm going to delete all of these, and I'm going to re-import him without materials. I forgot to shut that off. What's up, Nick Gamer CP? Welcome to Plot Quotient Stream. Good to have you here. Nick Gamer does some pretty cool YouTube content. He does a lot with a very, very little, and I can definitely admire that. But well, yes. Alright. That should have fixed it. It didn't quite fix it, but we can replace these materials as needed. So I started a blueprint for this guy. And so we're going to get his textures loaded up, and then we can bring it into a scene and start animating on top of that. And we'll do the same thing with Eagle-1. We will get to her shortly. Okay. So this is the Super Earth Worker, and then it's using the metahuman that I have set up. So I'm going to go ahead and find this material, and I'm going to paste it. That's the hat. That's the body. So then we also need the hat, and we'll paste that into this time slot. And there we go. And we want to get rid of this gross mouth and eyeballs, because they ain't looking too good. So let's see here. This guy was built off of this fella right here. So we'll start filling in. Yep, that's the neck. The head we will get rid of entirely. Did it also do the mouth? I guess that has the top of his mouth attached to it. I wonder if we should just straight up delete that mouth, pull him back in. These are all the weird little quirks that you find as you work on it. Oh look, I missed some triangles in his face. Hey, what's up, Lady Aries? Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Alright, so we gotta clean this guy up a little bit more, but I'll show you what I've been working on kind of before stream. Kind of my hope is there are 17 scenes in the script. Some of the scenes are super short, some of the scenes are pretty long. A scene could be something as easy as it's just like a ship like flying or going somewhere. I'm bummed out for what happened this morning. I know. Angel's Venture gone, erased from existence. It does make me admire the game though. I'm like, man, that's super cool. Hey, Super Jolly. Welcome. Alright, but let me show you not this grossness, but what I've actually been kind of working on. So I've already ported in and done the facial mocap. You can see my face right here and all these thumbnails. But so like for this scene, like I already have the facial animation set and ready to go based on the actor's performance. It's not true performance capture. I'm basically mimicking what the actor did, and then we can put this on a character, and that can use any face. So this one uses kind of like a reconstruction of my face, but then it can be used on any face that we needed to work on. So I mean, just to show an example, do it with this guy's face. I am trying to be careful about like what I open up in here because I've been having a lot of crash issues. So I don't want it to consistently crash, but to show you what that looks like, we'll just pull up one of the takes of the engineer, and you can see in here it's going ahead and just using that facial animation on him. So this will drive the face, and then the body motion capture will drive the body. But you can already see that is looking pretty fantastic. Pretty realistic. And you can see some little things like up here where the hat needs to have a little bit more of a material to it, and we'll also use those up-res textures. Also try to hide his hair behind there because his hair should be popping through. But the facial animation itself looks pretty incredible. This actor is Nathaniel Barton, who played Draws in Titanfall New Frontiers, and he played the prisoner in our Red Dead film. So he is back as the engineer in this film, and he has another role. So I took his metahuman from Red Dead and I changed it a little bit to kind of pay a little bit of homage to that film. So it's close to the same character face model, but with different facial hair, some different facial features, and stuff like that, to pay a little bit of homage to that film. But we're going to swap this back to an animation blueprint. This is looking good so far. Still can't wait to see this. I am very excited to get this one out there. Just especially because of everything we've done to improve animation from all fronts. So the body motion capture, the rigs, everything is just so much cleaner. And you know, we're building just much better processes to get this done properly, which has been a huge step. You know, in the past, the Red Dead Redemption film, it actually did come together very, very well. But like New Frontiers, I was totally lost on how to do a lot of this stuff. And, you know, now coming to this, you know, I just have so much more knowledge, a lot more figured out. So very excited to get it released and also able to work on it a little bit quicker. I also have some help this time around from some incredible people. I got an animator who's working on a few shots that are just like really advanced, and he's doing an incredible job working on them. So they all look pretty sweet. All right, let's see here. Trying to grab these individual vertices that were kind of sticking out of his face. Just getting them out so that they don't interfere with what we're animating today. I was hoping to get this all done before, but you know, it always takes more time than you think. And I think honestly I'm just going to get rid of the eyes while we're in here, because they use their own material, so they should be pretty easy to just select. We'll say what I'm looking for. This right here. That was the other missing little triangle that we need to get rid of. And I know this looks creepy, but it'll look like a person soon. So this should just be like that, and that, and delete. Oh, we did miss some vertices. Sometimes it helps to pop out of the wireframe mode to just see what all else is missing. It's weird that it didn't pick all this up, but that's okay. We will get it while we're in here, so it's not a problem when we go back into Unreal. But anybody who watched the trailer, did you have a favorite part? Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to? Any guesses as to what the story might be? I won't tell you if you're right or wrong, but I will be interested to hear your thoughts. I will say it was written by a lot of Helldivers fans, so that's something I try to do with each of the projects. Looking forward to the whole thing. Hey, me too. But with each of these projects, you know, we try to get fans involved in the script writing to... Oh, shoot. I didn't hold down. Shit. Thank goodness for Command Z. Funny story, real quick. Lord Cringefest, if you're watching, Lord Cringefest is one of our concept artists. They've done some pretty incredible things, but earlier today I was writing something by hand. I was like trying to yeah, like do like not like calligraphy, but just some type stuff on like a whiteboard. And I messed something up, and instinctively my hand went up because I have a tablet that I usually do like digital art stuff on. My hand went up to try and grab the undo button. I was like, wait a second, this is real life. There are no undo buttons. Alright, that looks like all the pieces. Grab. I'll delete those. Do a quick check around the head. Alright, we're good. We can re-export this guy, bring him back in, and we'll be good to go. One form win. Oh, this guy is just using one of the Helldiver skeletons. You can see the cape right there. Alright. There are so many funny things that you learn from like messing around with the game models. Like that, like this, the Super Earth Workers, and it makes sense. They're just using the same skeleton as the Helldivers. I'm kind of surprised they didn't clean those bones up, but maybe it was just lighter to have everybody running on that same skeleton. All right, export that. Hit save, minimize blender. So this is what I was working on before. This is the new guy. And we will re-import with a new file. And this. Bring him in with just the neck. No mouth, no eyes. Eats a pool of things. And now we'll just update those textures. Wait, is it Girl Eagle Pilot? Well, yes. We just haven't gotten to the Eagle Pilot yet. We're working on this engineer she kind of has an exchange with. But yeah, Eagle is right here. So her character is already set up. This might crash up here. Fair warning. It has happened. Wow! There's loading up. There's Eagle-1. In arguably the best armor set in the game. The Legionnaire armor with the Drone Master helmet. Absolutely incredible. But we'll be getting to her animation here in a little bit. We're just cleaning up the Siege Worker so we can bring them both in and start animating. I have no clue what this man is doing, but whatever it may be, I fully support Eagle-1. Well, work for the algorithm. I'm on Xbox, so unfortunately I can't go feet first into Helldivers yet. Ah, that is unfortunate. Hopefully we'll be able to soon, because we need your help with all the craziness that's going on right now at Angel's Venture. Alright. This... I love opening up the... like the faces and stuff. They always look so goofy. Alright, this we need to make two-sided. Apply it there. Apply. And save. You will crush the automaton. Amen to that. Any enemy of Super Earth. They all need a good crushing. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing for the hat. We'll pop that open. We'll duplicate. I'm just for the hat. Now I can go in and pop in the new textures. Yippee! There we go, and that's just going to clean up some of the grossness that was on there. Now it might be a little faded. Yep. So we're just going to add some contrast to this. I might have to go in and do some more like work on, like, notice how this geometry is like super sharp. I might have to clean that up, subdivide it a little bit, but we'll see what it looks like in context. Like if you look at it from like here, which is like you never really get a close up of the guy, but from here it looks pretty decent. So I might not have to worry about it at all. And so we'll do the same thing for the body. Yeah, we'll just affect the whole thing. Anytime we see one of these guys, we're gonna need the cinematic quality anyways. Two-sided. Apply. Textures. Quick search this one. And paste it in there. Get us that higher quality. I could also go in and like add like a mega scan or something. Give it more like etched depth, but once again, like, how does it look in the lighting? How does it look in the scene? All that jazz. Because like, if it's like from here and it looks fine, then I'm not too worried about it. And let's turn down the specular to like 0.033. There we go. They're basically wearing plastic bags anyways. But now this has a little bit of the neck. We're going to try and hide it underneath here. And then we should be banging. We should be in a good spot. So we'll place that. We're almost there, guys. We're making good progress. Metahuman, we just need to get rid of his neck, which shouldn't be too hard. So let's find it. CD's that one. We use that one. Okay, so we have this. We're gonna duplicate it and make neck. We'll need this for Eagle-1 as well. Plot. That trailer was so hype. Hey, thank you, Bluebird. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed the trailer. It was a blast to put together. What was your favorite part about it? I'd love to know. I'm gonna bring up these. So these masks basically allow me to cleanly cut off the head or the neck of a metahuman, which can be helpful if I just want to like replace the head and put it on a different body. So this is what it's going to do. Switch this to mask. I think this opacity mask, and usually this one looks the best. So we'll give it a shot first, and then pretty sure I can just plug the RGB out value. I don't think there's an actual output value. Nope. Alright. So we're gonna do this as well. Neck cut. This one. And duplicate. The main reason I'm kind of separating them all sure that I'm not like affecting the original metahuman or anything like that. So now when I go and find this, since I'm on this next cut one, I can start applying these up the chain. And because there are so many materials in a metahuman, you just got to make sure that that is all happening the right way. Which right now it is. It's looking good. There we go. Now we can have this one and apply it to our guy instead. And now his neck is cut off. And we just have his head. And I might do his a little bit higher because this kind of goes down to like a crew neck area. So I might chop that off a little bit more. So I can just go to this material, locate this, and let's say I wanted to cut it all the way up to the back of his head. Now you can see it's cut up to the back of his head. There is a little bit of an issue. Especially specifically with this one, where it cuts too high and into the back of the neck, which like if you have like a character that has like a cowl or something, that can work, but we do not. So we are going to see if this one just kind of gets that middle ground. And apply, save. It goes a little bit down. You can see like right here, it like is very obviously intersecting with this neck, so we might just affect this base color just a little bit. Just to make sure that it's close enough, because then the beard is going to hide some of it, the lighting is going to hide some of it. This isn't like the most kosher way, but like when working with these game models, sometimes you just gotta brute force stuff into working for you. So there, I mean, that looks pretty good. You would never know, that's the important thing. So we can compile, save. Our engineer is ready for animation. Pretty sweet stuff. So we'll close all of those. Pop this blueprint out. And let's get to animating. That's what everybody came here for. So let's get into it. We'll start with Eagle-1, and then we'll do maybe a little bit of the engineer. We'll see. But here, this is what I'm going to do first. So I'll show the level that they're actually going to be in, but we're not going to animate in that level yet. We'll animate in a separate level that's more lightweight, and then we'll pop over into here, or into the main level to kind of put them in the place that they need to be. So I'll show you that level first, so you can get a good sense of it. So this is the level. Let's load all the textures before I start moving around. But it's this hangar area, and so Eagle is going to be up in the cockpit, and she's yelling down to him, and he's going to be down in this area somewhere. Might have to move some of this junk back, but this is like the general idea for the scene. It doesn't have a ton built out because I want to see where the cameras and stuff are going to be. And then kind of build off of there. Do you have a keystroke visualizer? We can see what you are doing. Not specifically. I want to be wary about setting one up because I don't want to overload my GPU. Running a scene like this, running OBS, running NVIDIA broadcast, have two cameras and my screen record running, all of that running out to stream. It can get real hairy real fast. But hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, especially as I grab the gizmos and stuff. Fire hazard, LOL. Yep, pretty much. All right. So we'll go ahead and go into a blank level, set it up, animate it in there, and then we can bring it into here for tweaking, and then I'll probably do a virtual camera and stuff later to have everything else figured out for the rest of the scene. But you can kind of see, like, with so much of this already built, as we work on animation and whatnot, you know, we can do maybe like 2 scenes a week. There's 17 scenes, and then leaving room for certain scenes, like some of the battle scenes and stuff. They might take as long as like 6 weeks to animate. But if we stay on that kind of track with all this stuff built out, you can kind of get an idea of like how quickly we're able to get this done, because we put all the work in on the front end to get it set up, which is the biggest and most tedious part. And now I'm also working in individual levels for certain scenes. So we're in like an Unreal project that is now just set up for only Super Destroyer based scenes. So we don't bog down projects and get stuff lost like I may or may not have in work with the teaser trailer. The teaser trailer was a whirlwind. Was not fun. Have plenty of backups and everything, but oh my word, was that thing having me stressing. That is not how you spell utilities. Utilities. Maybe it is. I guess I usually call this utility. That's why it looks weird to me. Utility. I promise I can spell sometimes. Alright, let's see here. We're gonna go to File, New Level. Basic level. Oh. Ha. I gotta save it. And then I can save it in here. We'll just call this 01 animation. And I like to do a few of these like super blank levels to do all sorts of stuff. Like, so I'll do one for simulation. I'll do one for animation. I'll do one for one of the guys who's working on the project, and who's the guy who imported everything into Unreal. I'll show you what he's built real quick. He's built this, which hopefully doesn't crash. Oh, doesn't look like it ported everything over properly. So I guess I can't show you in this project, but to give you like a decent sense, he basically made all the automatons playable characters in Unreal Engine. So you can make them run around, attack, do all sorts of stuff that can get really fast and clean background animation. That's just using animations from the game, which will save us oodles of time, because that's just stuff we don't have to animate happening in the background, but it all looks high fidelity because it's just using what's in the game. But it looks like in this project specifically, it didn't port properly. So it's just one of those things. Can't show it off right now. But maybe another time. Maybe another time. Maybe if we hit our stream goal, maybe I'll add that. I'll go pull up his project and show that off a little bit. All right. Let's get into animations. So this is FLHD scene 08B. Animals. We'll have this. We need to go ahead and retarget our mocap, which is super easy. The processes we have. Look at this. We have all our mocap. We have our character set up. We can just retarget right off of here. Oh, this is me getting into the cockpit. So this is the shot 1, 2, 3. Those are our animations put that in its own like mocap thing, but now that I'm kind of only working on like, you know, like so many animations with a thing, it's not as big of a deal. But as you can see, that's already set up, and we'll build and set up one for this guy as well. We'll just build it straight off of his body specifically. It can really be any of them because they all use this skeleton, but we'll just use his to build this. And this is super easy. It's in here. You go in here, you go auto retarget chains. Whoa, what's this? It's created a list of everything. Auto create IK. What? Now it's got this. Because of our new animation pipeline, we're just using the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton on all these characters. Saves oodles of time. So to give context, when I was working on Titanfall New Frontiers, all of this stuff I used to have to input by hand for every single character. It was very inefficient, took a very long time. Now it's just click, auto, it's done. So that is one way that it just helps us work much faster. Also, another great thing that is newer to Unreal Engine. We have our characters here. If I stop running the retarget, this is kind of like their default positions, but the closer their positions are, the better it is. So I just go over here, align all bones, and now they are standing in the exact same place. And now we can just grab one of these and look at this. We're getting our animation retargeted exactly as it should be. Looks phenomenal. And then on top of this, we can use the mannequin rigs, you know, to clean it up further. So this is like the best looking animation we've done on a project so far. And it goes all the way back to just this level, which is super exciting because it's never been like this before. All right, export. Save all these animations, and then we can start doing our animations of these characters. So let's go in here. We'll create a cinematic that is we'll do this shot of Eagle-1 first, of just her, and then we'll do the one of both of them, because the one of just her should be pretty easy. I'm basically gonna go through, see where the face and the body motion looks the best, clean up her animation, and then call it a day. And later we can bring that into the project. So let me actually, oh, here. Oh, that is not what I wanted to copy. Oh, it copied the whole spreadsheet. Nice, but no thank you. What in the world? Spreadsheet's never given me this much issue. Here we go. Eagle. This up. I do have my curves up on this bottom screen, so I might reference that on my tablet a couple of times. And I think I do have a way to put it on stream, but we'll see about that later. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I need Eagle-1, and we'll bring in the ship as well. We need her with no helmet, and we also do need her helmet because she takes it off in this scene. So it's pulled into this sequence, and what's nice about working in Unreal is now this sequence is kind of of accessible from any point, which is nice to have. So I'm going to delete this baseboard rig, that body rig, because terrifyingly enough, the best way to get the metahumans onto a different body is just to shrink down the body real small and then scale the head back up to a normal size. So all of them have this little eeny teeny baby body hidden right there. But you can like unspawn it and stuff for working and rendering and stuff. But all right, so now we have these in here. Let's check the length of this shot. This shot is supposed to be 146 frames, so I'll give myself some handles, and we'll do like 100, and we'll just do 166 frames in here. And make sure it's set to 24 FPS. I do need to go in and adjust all that for this specific project. It should be a default, but I will get to that when I can. Oh, this is an Eagle model with Eagle-1 in the ship. We don't want that one. we want just the ship. I forgot that I had set that up for the trailer. It was a good workaround to have. But we can go quickly find the ship. That should expose it down here. It didn't. So where is it in here? Gameplay, Eagle-1. Do. Props, gameplay, Eagle-1, and I had this Eagle-1 fixed, which is the one we want. All right, sweet. Let's get this thing. Let's get the cockpit open. So it should have an animation. Nope, it don't. I'm kind of frustrated with the stuff that it didn't pull in. That is okay. I thought I had made a control rig for Eagle as well. And I probably did, and it probably broke. Because a lot of things broke from between the teaser and here. But we will deal with it. We'll get over it. For now, I am just going to do the skeletal mesh component, and we will do an FK control rig just to get some control over how it works. And it's not that many controls either, so it's not the end of the world. So we'll just rotate this up. So you can see inside the cockpit. We'll set a keyframe for it, and we will not look at this again. But we can grab our Eagle-1 and start to position her where she needs to be. So we'll get her face animation and her body animation rolling together. We'll actually start with the face. Sometimes it's easier to track. So it's going to be this one. And the body. And everything, you can kind of see like this 8003. That number is like which shot it is. So every single shot is accounted for. Every single piece of animation is written down. Now it's just a matter of actually doing it, which is the actual fun part, instead of being in spreadsheet land all the time. But now you can see the whole shebang, pretending to sit down in the cockpit. And let's go ahead and position her a little bit more accurately. So I know my first couple takes were kind of rough. I didn't like them. Oh, we also gotta fix her head. We'll do that. That will be super easy because we already built out our cutout. So base. Go and fetch me head synthesized bait. We'll duplicate it. And we just need to make one of these now. That. Go find this. And now we just need to we should just need to replace it once. Because everything else should already be using this. But we'll double check. Yep, it worked. I love it when it just works. It's so nice. Alright. So it looks like there's also maybe a couple of little weight painting issues that might need to be addressed. We'll address her neck kind of poking through. We'll work on all that. It's all a bunch of little stuff. I think it's probably the fourth time this happens. When the good one is. Apparently I did it a fifth time. It is always funny to watch bloopers or whatever. Like, just me getting up and putting stuff away. Oh, that's when the mocap suit broke, like, as soon as I stood up. Sometimes the Rococo suits do that. Alright, so this... That's pretty good. It's a good set of animation. We have some handles to work from. Looks good. We'll build off of that. So we'll pay attention largely. It's her neck. It's kind of where her hand placement is. All that jazz. We can stick the helmet to her right hand, like pretty much right away. Not have to worry about it. I'd honestly bring her head down in the loop, maybe a little bit. I mean, it feels fairly accurate. But we definitely have a lot we have to clean up there. Alright. Let's start affecting things. I'm not going to worry about. Holy moly, Hario 360. Hey, been following your project for a while. The trailer looked absolutely amazing. Thanks for all your hard work. Hario 360. I truly, deeply appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. That means a whole lot to me. You know, and it's not just one effort. It's an effort of many people. I mean, I don't know that everybody is staying up till 3 a.m. working on this, but that's what I've been doing. But Hario, I truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. All right. Well, in honor of you, we better keep going. We better keep on that animation train. All right. Let's see here. It's kind of like I mentioned before. Since we're now working on these Unreal Engine mannequin bodies, it gives us way more flexibility because we are able to, you know, build with really like professionally built rigs, which is super duper nice. So just make sure that she is positioned as properly in the cockpit as possible. It looks pretty close. Her backpack might be cutting into it, but it's also kind of a shot from like here. So maybe we can even get away with pulling her forward a little bit more. Yep. That's to the side. That's forward. And we'll get her legs and everything positioned where they need to be. As you can see, it is not too comfortable sitting in the cockpit of an Eagle aircraft. I don't know if I feel like this is kind of a unique thing to know. But like a Cobra attack helicopter is about the same size. And I've sat in one of those, and you cannot, like, at least somebody as tall as me, you cannot move. There was the talk, I know, at some point of canonically Eagle-1 has like her legs chopped off so she can be a more efficient pilot or whatever. At least that's like the fan myth. And you can kind of see why that would be possibly necessary. Because it's a tight fit in there. Alright. So we got all that positioned where we want it to be. Did we just get some plot lore? I was not a combat attack pilot, if that is what you're getting to. I was filming a documentary at Pearl Harbor, and I went to the Army base, and they let me sit in one of the attack helicopters. So it's not as cool as you might think. It was still cool, but it was not, no, there is not some crazy plot coalition lore where I'm actually, a Cobra attack helicopter pilot. That has not happened. Alright, I am going to go ahead and swap these. What's the documentary called? The documentary is called Unreleased. JK. There was a version of it that went out, but the editing on it wasn't great. And I still have all the footage, so I might re-edit it at some point, make my own. Yeah, I was at a job and I was working on it, and then I was involved in some layoffs after I'd started working on editing it. Somebody else had taken it over, and they didn't do like necessarily a bad job, but I just don't think they went through all the footage, which was unfortunate because there was a lot of footage. Work game dev. Do you need like pro math or no? You should definitely know some math, but I'm kind of stupid. So take that for what you will. As far as what I do, I'm certainly not a pro game developer. I'm not even really a game developer. I just use Unreal Engine to do cinematic stuff. But yeah, if it's something you are interested in, I would definitely say you do need to know a good bit of math, even just to help make sense of certain things, like how game shaders and materials work together. All right, so this helmet I am going to cheat to make it a little bit bigger because it would be impossible to fit on her head at this size. So we'll beef that up just a little bit. But maybe that's why she's wincing so much when she takes it off. I can't imagine wearing a helmet that has no no eye slots. It is that compact is too nice. I love the look of the helmet though. There was actually fun fact. If you're not a part of the Discord, definitely join up there. It's on a little bit of a lockdown right now, just as far as like channel accessibility and all that. Oh shoot, where did those frames go? Hopefully it didn't affect the feet, just the hands. Okay, that's all right. But definitely join up over there. But there was discussion of how Eagle-1 should be portrayed. And one of the ideas, because I knew, like for a fact, I was like, Legionnaire armor, Drone Master helmet. That is happening regardless. That's the look I like. It looks cool. It's unique. So that was always going to happen. But like how Eagle-1 was portrayed was a little bit of a debate, and so we ran like a little bit of a poll with everybody to get insights and input on it. And one of the ideas was to have her be like a teleoperated pilot. So she controls like a bunch of Eagle-1 drones, but like she flies them all at the same time. That was an idea. It didn't resonate as much with the fans, so we didn't do it. Instead, we kept it more classical, where Eagle-1 is like a pilot for the squad. And there were talks at one point, like, do we do multiple Eagle-1s? Do we just do the one? We landed on just the one, for the time being. But, for the time being, for the film. But, having that discussion was pretty neat. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the fingers around the helmet. One thing that New Frontiers taught me a lot of was there was a lot of people putting on and taking off their helmets, and how do you effectively hide that? How do you make it look good? And I was doing that without without IK, which was a nightmare. But when you do it so many times by hand, like, you kind of start to learn and pick up on things. Oh, I'm not using the auto keyer. Silly me. Silly Billy, what am I doing? I was wondering why things were snapping all weird. That would be the reason why. Let's get that fixed. I always have the auto keyer on by default, but because this is a new project and like my brain is still adjusting to like it doesn't have everything that I preset in the original project, throws me off a little bit. There we go, that's looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. Same thing here. What's kind of like, just for like a little bit of story time. Actually, how's our music doing? Is music still running? Yeah, y'all still got music. A little bit of a story time. So, this was a matter of like learning something the hard way. But I had access to these rigs, one all along, but also for the entirety of the Red Dead project, because I had to rig the characters in that using AccuRig. And so I could have used this method from the get-go. But I didn't know this method existed. And so in that one, I also had to end up using IK rigs because I was trying to use the modular control rigs and they kept breaking because they were like brand spanking new. And it was a little unfortunate at the time, but then I came to the realization during this project when I was working on setting it up and like, how are we going to overhaul and beef up this animation pipeline? As I figured that out, I was like, wait a second, this is like a different, like I can use these rigs in this way, and it just changed the game and just solved a lot of problems. So now I can use it, and it's fantastic. All right, so we are going to attach the helmet to this hand. What frame is that? 35. And at frame 35, we're going to take this hand and parent it to there as well. And I am not even going to risk this. We're going to go straight to frame 35. Set a keyframe so it shuts off that. And we're just going to bake that out. Across there. So now her hands stick together as she pulls off the helmet, and it looks clean. And we can clean that up some. The big thing is, so right now her arm is stretching quite a bit to reach over there. So we can adjust that as she reaches over. And now her arm is kind of unnaturally, and I think kind of the problem is it was set in one location and now it's trying to overcompensate in how it's rotating. So I will take from this point, I'll take this, I'll go into the rotation frames. And delete those. And instead on this frame, we'll rotate her hand. Actually, we don't want to change the position. We just want to change the rotation. Her hand stays stuck to it, but it more naturally, because like, I'll show you with my Helldivers helmet. When I would have taken it off, what happened was I would have taken it off like this, like that, right? And as it settles into my right hand, then I'm rotating it, and my hands are now kind of going the opposite direction. So that's what we're trying to make it look like her hands are doing right here. Because the main thing to remember is none of this is real. This is a digital character. So we want to get that same kind of effect as her hand rotates down. So now we're going to kind of find where her hand does this. It looks super broken, so we just have to go through and adjust it again. Up. And what's nice about working with these IK rigs is you can see like the exact point where it's kind of overextended. But that is like good to note as well. That all look, again, just as natural as we can. Make her look comfortable, make her look relaxed. We might do some work on the fingers. We'll see here in a second. But now her hand will off of here, and maybe we just have it anticipate. Get into there first. And now what I can do, so like from here, let's see, I kind of want to watch and see what the general motion is, because at this point we might be able to just take that hand and lock it to that position, so that as the whole body moves around, the hand basically stays right there. I won't lock it right now because we're gonna do the other animation cleanup, but that will kind of be our last step, is we'll come back to this frame 47 and likely just lock her hand to the side of the aircraft. So I might actually do it by hand for this first part. And then the second part, it'll like when it kind of punches down here, like at this point, then it'll lock onto the side of the aircraft from there. Because now it's just kind of like me, like when I did the mocap data, but like that data might not be 100% accurate. So we know at frame 50, you know, we can adjust that a little bit more. Maybe we, you know, bring this up a little bit. Just to have it feeling natural. Now this is like one of the other things I wanted to kind of look and see is like how much do we really see the fingers once they fall behind this panel. And truthfully, not much. I am not too worried about doing a bunch of finger animation, because there could be like, you know, like if she's like, if her hand was there and like it was on top and she's doing this more, that could be like a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be animated. And it could look nice, don't get me wrong. But if it's not necessary, like I'm not going to animate it. And if I can hide it behind here and like, you know, it looks natural, then that's what I'm going to do. Because the other fingers are hidden behind the helmet. And I know this shot is going to be from like right about here. So if her hand goes down, it's right there. You know, maybe we might do like one set where she like kind of readjusts her fingers a little bit. But I'm not too worried about it. And like also at this point, you know, we'll be looking at her face. We'll be in a new environment. So there'll just be like a bit more to take in that I'll be more worried about than, you know, like where her, like what her fingers are doing when it's behind a panel, and the camera might not even see that hand at all by the time we get here. So that's all stuff to evaluate. I will say for this second hand, for her right hand, I'm not sure if I think I might tuck it in to where she's kind of holding the helmet against her body. So like, take the Helldivers helmet again, where it's kind of more like she's kind of holding it against her chest and like leaning in and locked in a little bit more rather than like out here. I feel like this just, it doesn't feel as natural. It feels like this is a little bit better. So we'll get that. We'll make that our direction. So Non-Player Cinematic says, I've been pretty quiet lately, but this project is looking great. Very excited to see where it all comes together. Also, if you're not subscribed to Non-Player Cinematic and you are into Tomb Raider, go check him out. It's got some cool stuff. I think you had a Halo one too, if I'm remembering correctly. But he does a lot of cool stuff, editing cinematics and cutscenes from games together and turn them into little films. Super cool stuff. Definitely give him a look-see when you get a chance. You can also see there's a little bit of clipping here, so I might just make this our... Oh look, we already have keyframes in there. We'll have her pull the whole helmet down just a wee bit. And these two I'm gonna delete so I can set it. once we have her like position. Also just released a trailer for Assassin's Creed short film that's coming next month. Hey, nice! Very exciting stuff, non-player. Yeah, if you're into seeing more video game cinematic stuff, he does it with cutscenes and stuff from games, and he's just really good at editing those things together. So it looks good. Check it out if you get a chance. Assassin's Creed is pretty sweet. I'll have to check that out. I used to be a massive Assassin's Creed fan. I kind of fell off with the newer games. Actually, I probably fell off. Honestly, like the first Assassin's Creed game I didn't like play when it came out was Assassin's Creed Unity. And it was because when that game launched, it had a ton of issues. I did go back a few years ago and play it, and I was like, my goodness, this game is a masterpiece. But yeah, I haven't been on the Assassin's Creed thing for a while. Mainly just because I didn't love the style of the games or anything anymore. Just wasn't doing it for me, which was sad. But just the direction they took the franchise, it didn't intrigue me. It also just wasn't super innovative. Not as innovative as the original games were. I fell off at Black Flag and then fell off hard for Unity, but now I'm a fan of all of them. Just got off Unity an hour ago, lol. Unity's crazy. I was playing it and because like I remember there were all the memes about how broken the game was when it came out. And when I went back and played it a couple years ago, I was like, holy crap. What they've done, like what they were trying to do is insane for a game that came out in 2014, I believe. Like, absolutely bonkers. Crazy stuff. Alright, so we got that hand animated down. It's actually mocap, not hand animated. That's not what I meant. Come on. And I think I'm just going to affect these real quick. And open up the fingers. Actually, maybe I'll close the fingers down here. Open them up as she reaches over and then close them down again. But just making sure they're in an accurate spot where they're not super clipping. Gotta be careful about that. I just grabbed two controls at the same time. You can get some wacky, unwanted results that way. Alright. Got all those, and we'll set the end frames for some of these fingers that we don't want to affect all of. Alright. She brings her hand over. Also rotate this. Really bring these fingers up. What I've been finding with the Helldivers specifically is like there's a lot of like exaggerated hand motions, like opening up and closing in ways that are kind of unnatural. They're just kind of fun. And in this project, I've been challenging myself to do the animation of the hands by hand. So there's no mocap data on the hands. So everything you saw in the trailer, like when the cadet is like doing his little thing and you can see like kind of behind the light, he's like, remember kids, patriotism is the only way to fight fascists and cure communists. For managed democracy, and when he does it, his hand does like, he's here, it's a little loose, and then he does this, and then it comes down like super firm. Like that's all done, that was all animated by hand to get the fingers to look like that and everything. And it's like all these little things that nobody really is ever going to notice, but you know, does make a difference on the final thing. My finger brushes just past that. It's just something I can fix, so I'm just going to. Alright. That's good. Now we just mainly need to focus on the head. This is actually going faster than I anticipated. TBH. I dream of a world where they didn't push the release of Unity up for a year and then released it in a polished state. You know, that would have been nice. Maybe it would have changed the Assassin's Creed franchise forever, but what are you gonna do? When it's good, no one notices it, but when it's bad, everyone notices. Yeah, tell me about it. New Frontiers is like the epitome of that. There's moments in it where it is actually like really good, but there are so much that's jacked up and bad with the film that like that's what, or like the series, and that's what gets the attention, which is fine. I understand it, and it is justified. But man, there are sometimes where I'm like, trust me, I know all the bad parts. I see them plain as day. They stare me in the face and haunt me at night. But it is a-okay. It's part of being on the internet. There's going to be criticism. But I do think it's interesting, just like the difference of that film and the reception to it and like the trailer and everything compared to this one is just like a drastic difference. So you'll see that for her, the neck doesn't 100% connect down here. And I think we might be able to get away with that. Partly because of where the camera will be, how the lighting will be in that hangar. But also just like, you know, like does it see enough of the neck to where it's like, oh cool, she has a neck. But like, you know, like then below that, like can it just be assumed that that darkness is just something that's kind of cut underneath? Yeah, especially when everyone is wearing a helmet and they need to express a lot of body language, which makes it a lot harder. Yes and no. I think like in like New Frontiers, for example, I think there's a lot that could have been better if I wasn't so caught up on like the metahumans in the faces. This film, like you are looking at one of the very few scenes that has a face in it. Compared to New Frontiers, which had like faces everywhere. And you know, like I should have been more conscious of the limits of the technology. But I was just like so excited about the prospect. I mean, like, so to anybody who's new to the channel and everything, and I haven't told this story in a while, but so when I started doing all of this, I've been in filmmaking and video production and all that jazz. I've been doing it for a hot minute. Very, very long time. And it had become so stale to me. Because like there was no real way to like innovate, filmmaking. It was all kind of the same thing. You go in, you shoot your, whatever, however you're going to shoot it. And there just wasn't anything exciting about it for me anymore. Which was unfortunate because I love the craft, but I always felt so limited by so many factors. Fast forward, I'm doing stuff. I'm like doing some stuff in social media, and I'm like, this is like kind of neat. But it was still like, like when I shot stuff, I was like, man, if only I could do X, Y, Z, that would like, make this experience so much better. And then I found out about Unreal Engine. My brother had sent me like a showcase of Unreal Engine 5 when they like were getting ready to release the beta. And I was like, wait a second. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. And I was like, how do I do that? How do I figure that out? And a couple months later, I had like a weekend where I was just like, I found like this tutorial that was like 10 hours long, and I was like, I'm going to do this tutorial and I'm going to figure this out. And I don't care what it takes. And I did that tutorial. It was like, I think the tutorial was like 5 hours, not 10. But I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And when I do, like, it's going to change everything for me. And I did that tutorial, and I've been hooked on working in Unreal Engine ever since. I just think it's a great way to do things in this medium and apply all the knowledge I have, but being able to work in a different way. And like, I've always been a fan of animation. I've loved the animation as a medium. I loved animating with Legos as a kid, and now this is just animating with basically digital Legos. I mean, like, and bringing them into life. Like this right here, it's like, this isn't a real person. It's a hollow digital character, and I'm bringing some semblance of life to them. I'm wondering if I know I had liked the bringing that down, but it's a little bouncy. What happens if I just turn that softness to 1? I love your Titanfall film so much. Maybe it isn't perfect, but I don't think it needs to be to show people what you're able to bring to the YouTube table. Exactly. And like the Titanfall film is like what kind of was my launching pad for all this. I was just doing it for fun. Even the Titanfall project, initially I was just doing it for fun, and then like it picked up ground and a YouTube channel was born, and I was like, how do you do YouTube? And I've done like, I've worked in social media for like other companies and doing other people's stuff, but never my own. And that's definitely been a journey that I've enjoyed. Alright, so we are going to use this sphere. fill out her hand to the side, and then we'll be pretty much done with this animation, I think. Maybe we'll fix some stuff in the face. Did you see the fish? Did he swim by? Oh yeah, he's playing under the camera right now. I'll do that for work meetings too. I'll set it up so they can watch him at a work meeting when I work from home. All right, translation. Oh wait, no. Actually, maybe yes. What happens if we do just set that to translation? Well, sure, let's bake it. Let's see how it looks. I've never thought about, like, I didn't have to necessarily bake the rotation. That's actually kind of nice. Look, you're watching me learn something new. Why does it look so off at that last pose? It might be because, like, there was a bit where, like, I was like, I got my helmet off. But we can work on cleaning that up too. Spawn that sphere just to watch your hand and do what it does. That's a little bit jittery. It does have its problems, but I do wonder if, like, because I'm going to be doing a virtual camera for this, so it'll be like actual handheld camera movement. I wonder if that's just going to hide some of that jitteriness. Let me just watch it a couple times before I kind of sign off on the body animation being final. I think the biggest thing is our hand coming off of the helmet feels a little bit abrupt, but because we baked that out, I can just delete these translation keyframes. It's still not quite perfect. I think I could have possibly done a better job of, like, just kind of simulating a cockpit setup to get a little bit cleaner of animation results. But again, when it's a camera, when we're looking at her face, there's stuff moving. So, like, let's say, like, this is kind of like the simulated camera position. Slow it down. But, like, when the camera position is this and we're looking at her this way, like, you're not even noticing a lot of that stuff. And again, the environment's going to be moving, the camera's moving, Eagle-1 is moving, like the actual aircraft. So I think it'll be pretty well set there that way. So I'm gonna say this body animation approved. What are we at right now? We are at 1 hour and 37 minutes. For a body animation that has that kind of detail, that's actually a pretty decent time. I don't know if we are going to get to the other animations tonight, because we do need to do some cleanup on her face, but we'll keep chugging away. So I'm going to quickly bake out her body animation, just so all of this work is saved outside of being, like in this sequence, which is super helpful if I ever experience like a really bad crash or whatever. I can have an animation asset that I can just port into a new project, and it works, and I don't need to worry about it. So Eagle-1, body, wing, animation. And now we just have that as an asset. So if we actually go to where that was saved, you can see here, make sure it's saved up. But so this was our original. This is the original take we were working with. That's the out of the box mocap, which still looks, fairly decent. It's not the end of the world. But then this is our cleaned up animation, which is now just an asset we can use the same as the mocap, which is super great. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, like kind of floating here, it actually doesn't look that bad. It's actually pretty clean. So I'm pretty happy with that. For me, it's amazing how how each part of the body needs to move to create such smooth motion. It takes a lot of repetition. Repetition is a huge part of it, and like understanding like animation for a lot of years, just because it's something I was always interested in, just fascinated by. But then like all these little things, if you want to see it get real crazy, we're about to get into working on the face, which is gets into even crazier territory. We will do this with hold up, I'm reading some. I guess say this one looks more correct. But yeah, it's dealing with it for so long, over such a long period of time. But then also just like there are little things that I started paying attention to where I was like what do I do? Like how, like when I do this body motion that I'm trying to animate, how do I actually do that in real life? Hands are a great example. What do my hands do naturally, like when I'm not trying to control the fingers? Well, when they're like pointed down, my hands down like this, like, there's a slight curl all the way up all my fingers. Not by much, but like, it's like basically with, my middle finger, like the pointer of it, like basically pointing straight down. It's like, okay, like what's my thumb doing? Like all that jazz. It's all stuff that like I'll look at real quick while I'm animating and just be like, yeah, that's what that should look like. And then it's same thing, like when I tilt my wrist up, watch how my fingers change. Ready? Zoop. Oh, what's my natural resting position for my hand now? It's got my index fingers out. My middle finger and my ring finger are kind of doing the same thing. My pinky is kind of slipping underneath both of those. My thumb is touching the top of my index finger. It's little stuff like that I try to pay attention to. It's what we were doing with the helmet before, where it was like, I know I did the mocap, and in the moment, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just kind of doing the performance. But after the fact, when I'm animating, it's like, yeah, when I take off my helmet, I'm not rigidly like keeping my hands in the same spot. So like, you don't move objects like this. You move an object, especially if it's a round object like a helmet, and like, oh look, one hand controls it, the other hand just kind of balances it. So little things like that I try to pay attention to help with the animations. It's especially been helpful on this project. It was a huge thing on the Red Dead project, just making sure that was as accurate as possible because I wanted it to be as true to the actors' performances, because they actually came, you know, they did all that in person, James Cameron style, for that motion capture. So I think what I'm going to do here is we'll scrunch her face more in the beginning. So we'll get our control rig board up. And, oh, you know what we'll turn on, which is always just good to have, is this look at switch, which just gives us this for the eyes. We can control both the eyes with it, which is super helpful. But let's scrunch her face some more. So we have these face scrunch controls, which like these I don't even really like 100% need to look at to know like almost exactly what they're gonna do. But like you can kind of see up here what they're doing. So I'll scrunch the top of her face more. Maybe move her mouth up. And these little controls. And again, I have this friggin' face animation board like memorized from working on New Frontiers because I had to do so much cleanup after the fact on the facial animation. And it still didn't look like great by any means. But it, you know, it did help to just like get a better understanding of how this stuff works. And maybe we'll take these next stretch. Pull them up. That kind of like, you know, like there's a lot of tension, and then it kind of releases as the helmet comes off her head. Very, very subtle. Absolutely nobody is going to notice. But it'll feel better. Right, that's kind of where the animation gets a little weird. They have changed a couple of things on the metahumans. We'll have her... Don't move in opposite directions anymore. That's kind of annoying. That's alright. I'll make sure her eyelids close all the way here. Even though I probably didn't close my eyelids all the way in real life. Here, it's probably just going to look nicer if it does. Before she exhales. And like kind of what I'm doing is I'm building a little bit of anticipation of having her like whole face kind of scrunch up as she takes this inhale, and then she'll exhale and kind of release that tension. This is how much crazy control you have here. Like, affecting her ears, because your ears would, like, you know, naturally, like, kind of push up like that. It'll fill her cheeks, like she's breathing in a little bit. all these keyframes. I should have kind of had these on deck. I should have just set 2, but it's alright. But we will copy those, save. This point where she blows out. Just make that. Feel a little bit like you used to be able to grab both of those at the same time. And we'll do the same thing with her nose. Nose will drop. No, this is not at max. Why won't it let me adjust these ones. Again, the controls used to mirror each other, which was super nice. Maybe we'll just raise up the top part of her lip a little bit. There we go. We're already fixing this up quite a bit. I'm kind of, when I did the mocap for this, I'm kind of smiling at that corner of my mouth. But I'll bring a little bit to this side as well. And we do have a little bit where the neck has clipped here. So maybe I'll just adjust that on here just real quick. Maybe we'll flare out her nostrils just a little bit. Welcome to the world of animation. Yo, what's up, Ark? Welcome to the stream. Ark is one of those York Street Mbalas. Just overall, a great guy. Which York's crew is just a lot of chill, really cool people. York has actually taught me a lot about animation. animation, even if he doesn't realize it. But if you haven't seen the channel York Reacts, definitely give his channel a look-see. Because that guy, if you want to see a professional animator, he works on, he's a video game animator, like a lead game cinematic animator. He does some pretty wild stuff. Worked on Red Dead, GTA 5, kinds of jazz. I'm gonna also just kind of, actually, you know what I might do? Before as she pulls off her helmet, another subtle detail. If you were on stream, you'd get it. Everybody on stream will know. We'll have her pupils like really dilate. Oh, they're going in the opposite direction. But as she opens her eyes, you know, her pupils can be real small. Yep, they're constricting properly. But it would make sense if you're taking off a helmet like that. You know, your eyes like... Hey, KCB, thank you. Yes, sir, he's got 20 years of experience. That's right. York has been animating and working in the industry since I was 8 years old. Make him feel old. You can clip that and send it in the Discord arc. There we go. Hey, look at that. That looks pretty good. I am very happy with that result. Pretty decent looking animation. All of that, what are we up on? Almost 2 hours. Granted, we were doing some cleanup work in the beginning, so it's not all been straight animation. But to get that one shot, and it looks nice. I'm pretty happy with that. And this is the power and the wonders of working in Unreal, is I can just like watch this in real time. I can analyze it. I don't need to wait for it to render. I can put this in a different scene. Be able to look at things like, you know, how do the eyes look? The eyes look pretty natural. Like all that, I'm getting a good sense of just from watching it right here. Looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And even just to like, you know, double check, see what's there. We can also throw a camera in. Just to see like, and I like to do this sometimes, even just with a temp camera. Just to see like, what are we actually looking at, you know, at the end of the day. I wish I had the money and the space for a PC. I could definitely love to use the Unreal Engine. Yeah, you know, I definitely feel lucky that, like, you know, I have the ability to do that. But, you know, it's also, I don't know to what extent, like, Unreal Engine for Fortnite is available on console. But that might be something to look into, too, just to start building your own stuff. Which is basically just a lightweight version of Unreal. to get people started. So that might be something to look into, Arc. Start building your own games. There's a little bit of an issue with the peach fuzz down here, but I do wonder if you'll see that at all in the lighting in the actual shot in the hangar. This is just so we can build. So that is looking pretty solid. I'm very happy with how this has come together. All right, let me delete that camera, this camera cut track, because I might honestly just bring this into that other level, because I need to move the Eagle-1 aircraft anyways. But if I bring this into the level, I can just kind of use it as the basis for that bit. Let's see, what are we at? It is 10:30 right now. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. There's 15 minutes left on the playlist. We'll let the playlist finish out while we work. I'm just trying to think of the best use of our time. I think probably what we'll do, we'll get this, we'll bring it into that specific level and build it out from there. So let me make the animation sequence for the face. Let me pull up my hand down in the spreadsheet. Eagle-1 face panel. Clean up. So we have that data as an asset as well. There it is. Oop. Nice. All right. So let's bring this into the level. Let's get as close to a completed shot as possible. So we can say on stream, we did it. So this level. Here we go. Now, what we might be able to do. Hopefully this won't crash. We're about to find out. I just got the GPU warning. But maybe we'll switch this to unlit. And fingers crossed. 3, 2, 1. Double click. It says it's open. Oh, yep. Nice. That's very nice. I like that. I don't know what that was. But yeah, now we have her in here in this level. I guess the center of the level is down there. But now we can kind of set this up to where, you know, it does what we need it to do here. What is the best way to move this without there being too many problems? Oh, is that we never baked the helmet. The helmet is not baked. Let's bake that real quick. All frames. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Helmet's baked. It's got transform data. All right. So we need to move Eagle-1. We need to move just about everything. So this is what I'm going to try. I'm going to try parenting her to the root of Eagle-1. Parenting the helmet. Let's add an additive transform track. That to the root of this Eagle-1. And now in theory I should be able to move this Eagle-1 fixed mesh, and they should come with it. Just move it kind of to a spot where it looks good. Sweet. Yas. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. Alright. So, we'll take the root. Forward. Up. Okay, keyframe. Houston, we have a problem. This is what I'm thinking now. Sweet. Sent it back to its home. Okay, move it forward one frame. Nuke it. Oh, but then it's not moving forward anymore. We're problem solving. Oh. This absolutely needs to stay in her hand. No ifs, ands, or buts. Negative 1,500, negative 1,450, negative 1,400. Hey, we're getting there. Going the wrong way, but we'll figure it out. All right. This might not be the fix, but it might be. It looks like it's the fix. Yep. That does what we need it to do. All right. Double check that after that save. Yep. Sweet. All right. This is what we'll do as well. We'll bake Eagle-1. Oh, no worries, Nick Gamer. Happy to have you back. And we'll bake that for the literal one frame that it's there. But now everything is just like locked down the way it should be. So we have that. Let's animate this cockpit and the wings. Oh, we're losing sequencer. It does this sometimes. It's very annoying. It'll just like, yeah, notice here how there used to be values here. It takes them away. Let me restart Unreal real quick and pull it back up, because that's the only way to get that fixed. So let's get this rolling back up. I'll whip out the helmet. People love seeing the helmet. This is a Helldivers helmet that I built. 3D printed it. I have a whole Helldivers cosplay, but that helmet is the easiest thing to have be mobile. But I'm really proud of it, and it's modeled and based after the main character in the film. I just like the paint armor set. It looks cool. But now Unreal's back. Shockingly, with no errors. All right. Now let's get that open. Nice one, Unreal. All right. So, like I was saying, this, like I knew it. We had keyframes for it. So we're gonna move maybe like 2 full seconds and set this rotation to 0 so that the cockpit can open up. And we'll also fold the wings down, even though we probably won't see the wings, but could just be a nice little fun addition. We got 4 minutes left on the music. We're almost there. After this, I might go and fight for Angel's Venture. I must do my part. Because as we all know, the Illuminant were the problem. So we'll fold these down 90 degrees. Oh, we gotta go the opposite direction. Negative 90. And even though everything's clipping through everything, we're not gonna be looking at any of that. We're just gonna be right there, looking at Eagle-1. All right, let's get our camera in here and get this shot pretty close to finished. I will probably still do a virtual camera instead of this digital one, but for the sake of like, hey, we did it on stream, we made it look Unreal, why you doing this? Give me my controls, thank you. We'll shoot it on a 65 mil, maybe a 50 mil. This setup as well. I usually shoot in the DSLR format, but we'll just keep it as this for now, because like I said, I think I'll probably end up doing a virtual camera anyway. So we'll set our keyframes for the position and the focus. Go to the end. find where we want our last frame to be. For now, I'm just going to say it's there. Roll this back to like too far out. Oh, I typed in too many numbers. I was actually pretty close by guessing 150. Bam, bam. This isn't lit yet, but that's okay. Things are gonna look a little wonky there. Hey, this is the start of a good looking shot. It is nowhere near finished. It is nowhere near perfect. But it's looking pretty dadgum good. Maybe, oop, wrong rotation. This one? Yeah. Maybe we start with the cockpit already partially open. That's a pretty good start. Hey, we did this all on stream. We did it all on stream in 2 hours and 15 minutes with some extra stuff we did in the beginning. It's looking pretty decent. Looking pretty good. There's a lot of cleanup work that I can do after the fact. I have to light it, so she just looks really nice. But overall, like, this is a great start. I'm super happy with this. So thank you so much for being on the journey, hanging out with me this week. Working on this specific shot. I'll be working on the film more this week, and next week we'll be animating a new shot, working on some stuff. It's probably going to be a lot of animation streams for a little bit, but you know, it's all part of the process of working on this beast. But if you want to see some variety, definitely go back and check out what we were working on the few weeks prior with the teaser trailer. If you want some more in-depth behind the scene, we have a sound design one, a VFX one. The VFX one kept crashing, so I ended up just playing Helldivers for a while at the end of it. But just showing different parts of the process, which we'll be doing with the full one here as well. Once again, huge thank you to Hario360 for his huge donation. I truly appreciate that. That means a whole lot. If you're interested in becoming a member to support the channel, feel free to do so. But hey, if you're just here to watch and be a viewer, I am just happy to have you here. That's it for me for now. Don't have any plans for an upcoming video, but we will be streaming next week. We stream every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. EST, and I am just super excited to be continuing working on this and having you along for the ride. Until next time, we'll be seeing you.